Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching BCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. The White House has dismissed 3 National Security Council staffers, Brian Walsh, Thomas Boudry, and David Feith, following a recent security breach. The firings came after National Security Advisor Michael Waltz mistakenly included a journalist in a Signal chat discussing sensitive military operations in Yemen, sparking widespread criticism of the NSC's communication practices. The move also follows a meeting between President Donald Trump and far-right activist Laura Loomer, who reportedly shared opposition research on several NSC officials. The White House has not confirmed whether the dismissals are permanent, and the NSC has declined to comment. Wall Street turmoil continued Sunday night as U.S. stock futures plunged amid growing fears of a global recession triggered by President Donald Trump's sweeping new tariffs. Dow futures fell 1,500 points, while S&P 500 and NASDAQ futures dropped over 4%, putting the S&P 500 on the brink of a bear market after 2 days of sharp sell-offs erased more than $5.4 trillion in value. Oil prices dropped below $60 a barrel, and Bitcoin tumbled nearly 6% to around $78,000. The volatility follows the implementation of universal tariffs Saturday and the looming launch of reciprocal tariffs on nearly 90 countries this week. Critics say the tariffs, which target autos, steel, and more, could drive up prices for consumers and plunge both the U.S. and global economies into recession. JP Morgan now pegs the chance of a U.S. recession at 60%, and Goldman Sachs puts it at 35%. Despite the economic headwinds, Trump has defended the tariffs as necessary to rebalance trade, while markets brace for future fallout. Just as tax return season ramps up, the IRS has announced plans to cut up to 20,000 staffers, roughly 25% of its workforce, in a sweeping round of layoffs that began last Friday. The cuts start with the Office of Civil Rights and Compliance, which will be reduced by 75%, with remaining staff absorbed into the agency's Office of Chief Counsel. The move is part of the Trump administration's push to downsize the federal government through the Department of Government Efficiency. A Treasury spokesperson said the layoffs are tied to broader process improvements and tech upgrades aimed at making the IRS more efficient. The agency began reducing its workforce in February, notifying about 7,000 probationary workers with less than a year of service that they would be let go. Thousands of demonstrators rallied in cities across the country Saturday in the largest day yet of hands-off protests, a nationwide response to President Donald Trump's sweeping efforts to downsize the federal government and implement controversial policies on immigration, healthcare, and civil rights. Organized by more than 150 groups, the coordinated efforts spanned all 50 states and remained largely peaceful. Billionaire Elon Musk, who heads the new Department of Government Efficiency and advises Trump, was a frequent target for his role in orchestrating deep spending cuts. In Boston, one of the day's largest rallies drew an estimated 25,000 to 30,000 people to the Common and City Hall Plaza, where Mayor Michelle Wu, Senator Ed Markey, and Representative Ayanna Pressley spoke out against what they called threats to democracy and vulnerable communities. The event included performances by the Dropkick Murphys and Be Vocal, and was one of several protests held across Massachusetts as part of a broader protest movement. A new study from Harvard Medical School and Massachusetts General Hospital suggests that eating an orange a day may reduce the risk of depression by 20%. Researchers found that citrus fruits help stimulate gut bacteria that influence the brain's production of serotonin and dopamine, 2 chemicals linked to mood elevation. The study, which analyzed health and diet data from over 100,000 women, found the depression-lowering effect was specific to citrus, not other fruits like apples or bananas. Study leader Dr. Raj Mehta said the findings could pave the way for citrus to be included in depression treatment plans alongside traditional medications. While more research is needed, experts say the study strengthens growing evidence that gut health and diet play a key role in mental well-being. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
Hi, I'm Tom Lyons, a retired captain from the Quincy Fire Department and the author of the book Fighting Fire, A Proactive Approach. Cooking is the leading cause of home fires. Unattended cooking is the leading cause of these fires and related deaths. Therefore, keep a close eye on your cooking. If you must leave the kitchen, bring a utensil with you as a reminder of your efforts. Set a timer for food taking longer to cook. Turn pot handles towards the back of the stove. Keep a lid nearby when cooking. If a small grease fire starts, slide the lid over the pan and shut off the burner. You can take an active role in your safety. Cooking safety starts with you.
Welcome back. Boston Celtics guard Peyton Pritchard joined local basketball coaches in Braintree on Saturday for a youth skills camp focused on developing basketball fundamentals and character building. The event drew hundreds of kids and featured speeches, contests, and awards, with Pritchard reflecting on how similar camps helped inspire his journey to the NBA. You always remember where you grow up from and the roots and stuff, so you always have to give back, he told the crowd, adding that seeing pros as a kid made his dream feel attainable. Pritchard, now a leading contender for the NBA's Sixth Man of the Year award, hopes to pass that same inspiration on to the next generation. Former parishioners of St. Thomas More Church in Braintree gathered on Saturday to take home a piece of their former sanctuary. Developer George Clements gave away about 200 bricks from the now demolished church site at 7 Hawthorne Road and 338 Elm Street. The brick and limestone church, built in 1940 and closed by the Archdiocese of Boston in 2022, is being replaced with an age-restricted condominium project called the Residences at Hawthorne. Clements, who purchased the property for $3.2 million, worked with longtime parishioner Catherine Graziano to distribute the bricks as keepsakes and has returned many of the church's memorial stained glass windows to families who originally donated them. Religious artifacts, including the church's cross and larger stained glass windows, were preserved by the Archdiocese for future use at other Catholic institutions. The redevelopment project is set to go before the Braintree Planning Board on April 8th. The Braintree Senior Center is offering a full slate of weekly programs and special events for residents 60 years and older. Weekly offerings include spa day by appointment, daily fitness classes, game day on Tuesdays, the Asian Outreach Group on Wednesdays, and movie day on Fridays. Special one-day events include a puzzle competition on Wednesday, April 9th at 1:30 p.m., bingo on Wednesday, April 16th at 1 p.m., and Learn to Play Pool with Kathy on Thursday, April 17th at 12:30 p.m. All programs take place at the Braintree Senior Center, and you can call them to sign up at 781-848-1963. The town of Braintree will host a rabies vaccination clinic on Saturday, May 3rd from 10 a.m. to noon in the parking lot of Braintree Town Hall. Dr. Joseph Cosman will be on site administering vaccinations at a cost of $15 per dog. To be eligible, dogs must have had a rabies vaccination within the last 3 years, and owners must bring their current rabies certificate. Town officials also remind residents that all dogs must be licensed by June 30th, with the licensing period running from April 1st to the deadline. The Rotary Club of Braintree is hosting an electronic waste day for residents of Braintree and surrounding towns on Saturday, April 26th from 9 a.m. to noon at 74 Pond Street. Most small household items that can be plugged in will be accepted for recycling. For a full list of acceptable items, pricing details, and additional information, residents are encouraged to visit the event website at braintreerotaryclub.org. If you're receiving or will receive a pension from Braintree, the Braintree Retirement Board will conduct a public hearing on Thursday, May 22nd at 4:15 p.m. at 74 Pond Street on the second floor to discuss a cost of living adjustment for all eligible recipients of a Braintree Retirement System pension. You can join in person or remotely via the Zoom meeting. Visit braintreema.gov for more info. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
I'm Courtney Trudeau, the Young Adult and Teen Librarian at Braintree's Thayer Public Library. It's April, so that means school vacation week is coming up soon. Anytime during school vacation week, you can drop into the children's room to make a paper bag robot craft, try this month's Seek and Find activity and look for favorite Disney characters hiding around the room, play educational games on our learning stations, or borrow some books to take home. Did you know that this year is the 250th anniversary of events that led to the American Revolution? On Tuesday, April 22nd, from 2 to 3:30 p.m., get immersed in Boston's colonial history with staff from historic New England and celebrate Patriots' Day with us. Children can dress up in colonial-era clothing, examine reproduction artifacts, make tin lanterns, write with quill pens, and create paper tricorn hats to wear. Best suited for families with children aged 5 to 12, this hands-on historic activities that are offered will bring colonial life alive. This program is funded in part by a grant from the Braintree Cultural Council, a local agency which is supported by the Mass Cultural Council, a state agency. For our teens looking to grab a new book to read this week, come in and grab one of the recently nominated Mass Teen Choice Book Award titles. The 21 nominees were just announced on March 28th. This is the only Bay State award for YA books that are voted upon by the teens of Massachusetts. So now is your chance to start reading so you can pick your favorite when voting opens in September. To see all the books, you can come visit me in the teen room at the library and check out the display of nominees, or visit the Mass Teen Choice Book Award website at mateenchoicebookaward.org. We can't wait for Wednesday, April 23rd from 10:15 to 11 a.m. That is when Miss Ari's Family Tree Sing-Along for young children happens. Little ones have so much fun with Miss Ari. She turns singing and dancing into learning and play, with live music featuring her ukulele and guitar. Miss Ari's performance is fast-paced. She brings shaker eggs and dance scarves for each child to use and always ends with bubbles. Best suited to infants through 5-year-olds, but open to all. Miss Ari's Sing-Along is made possible through state aid for public libraries funds. Later that day, older children ages 5 through 12 on Wednesday, April 23rd from 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. can play hockey bingo and win a bag of goodies donated by the Boston Bruins. Take home a paper hockey game to keep the fun going on at home. Did you know the Boston Bruins are a sponsor of the Massachusetts statewide summer reading program every year? Also on Wednesday for our teens, we have Mandy from Wicked Good Henna coming in at 5 p.m. for a royal icing cookie decorating program. Registration is required and space is limited, so sign up starting on April 9th if you'd like to come make some fun flower-themed cookies. On April 24th at 10:15 to 11 a.m., little ones will be captivated by Rosalita's puppets as Auntie Goose is brought to life in a show. Using a variety of handcrafted puppets, Rosalita's Puppets weaves together a performance that will leave the audience smiling. This show is best for ages 3 and up and is made possible through the use of state funds for public library funds. A few hours later on Thursday, from 2:30 to 3:30 p.m., will be Marble Raceways for Kids, where they can design and build their own raceways. We'll supply cardboard tubes, egg cartons, Legos, marbles, and more. Each must use at least 2 tubes. Who can get their marble moving the furthest from their exit chute? They'll test their raceways for distance and then modify them if they want, for ages 5 to 12. Let's see whose design wins. On Friday, April 25th, the Children's Room offers family board games and drop-in play from 10 to 12 noon. During school vacation week, the library will be closed on Monday, April 21st for Patriots' Day. After that, we will be open regular hours. Tuesday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. For complete information on any event, see fairpubliclibrary.org or call us at 781-848-0405.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. Spring is in the air as the Boston Red Sox officially open their 125th home season and 114th at Fenway Park on Friday with a home opener against the St. Louis Cardinals. The pregame ceremonies honored the 50th anniversary of the 1975 American League Championship team and paid tribute to Red Sox Hall of Famer Luis Tiant, who passed away last year at 83. Players from both teams lined the baselines as military members from the Massachusetts National Guard, Hanscom Air Force Base, and the U.S. Coast Guard presented the colors. The Boston Arts Academy performed the national anthem, followed by a flyover by two F-35s and a KC-46 from the Vermont and New Hampshire Air National Guards. Fans got their first look at new high-definition video boards and several exciting new additions to the Red Sox roster, including two-time All-Star Alex Bregman and World Series champs Walker Buehler and Patrick Sandoval. An 88-year-old Hingham woman lost $15,500 in a phishing scam after receiving a fake email claiming to be the Federal Trade Commission, police said Sunday. The email, titled Federal Trade Commission, included convincing details copied from official sources and a phone number for a so-called litigation officer. After calling, the woman was told her daughter was in financial trouble and that sending money would help bring her daughter's account back into good standing. She mailed a treasurer's check overnight to an address in Illinois, only to learn later that it was a scam. The check was cashed the next day. Hingham police are urging residents to stay vigilant, noting that email, phone, and text scams happen daily. Please have a conversation about this scam or share this info with family members, Lieutenant Stephen Dirth said. The city of Quincy officially opened the new $14 million clubhouse at Furnace Brook Golf Course on April 5th, marking a major milestone in its revitalization of the city-owned course. Perched atop Forbes Hill with sweeping views of Boston Harbor, the 12,900 square foot facility features a dining room operated by Perth Hospitality, a wraparound deck, and 4 high-tech golf simulators that are expected to bring in up to $350,000 annually. Natural Resources Commissioner Dave Murphy and Club Pro Tom Ellis say the goal is to welcome more of the community, particularly women and young golfers, while preserving the course's neighborhood feel. Membership demand is soaring with wait lists for all 3 tiers, though public tee times remain available. The simulators, dining area, and enhanced amenities are part of a broader effort to expand the club's appeal while honoring its history, including the legendary 393-yard hole-in-one by Mary Robbie in 1949. It's almost Easter, and the Easter Bunny is set to make a return to Massachusetts this year. Simon Properties announced that the Easter Bunny will return to South Shore Plaza this spring so kids of all ages can meet him and take photos. The Bunny Photo Experience will be open daily now until April 19th, and reservations are strongly encouraged, officials said. Other events with the Easter Bunny include pet photos at the mall on March 30th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. A Caring Bunny event is scheduled on April 6th from 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. And finally, baby's first Easter photos with the bunny are scheduled for April 9th and April 16th from 11 a.m. to noon. Hours and reservations can be made at simon.com. The MBTA is expanding and improving its Winthrop and Quincy ferry service for the upcoming season, including doubling weekday trips, introducing direct routes to Boston, and cutting travel times by up to 30 minutes. Beginning Monday, April 28th, separate weekday routes will run from Winthrop and Quincy directly to Boston, with stops at Logan Airport, the Seaport, and Central Wharf Aquarium. Weekend service launches Saturday, May 24th, featuring a combined route for all destinations. The ferry fare is $6.50 one way or $3.25 for reduced fare riders. Tickets are available via the M-Ticket app, on board with cash, or by using commuter passes. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more in sports and entertainment. Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now here's Chris Curran with the latest on Braintree sports.
Braintree boys volleyball is at a hot start to their season, being 3-1. Each of their games have been sweeps, winning 3-0 versus Scituate, Malden, and Walpole, and losing 3-0 to Newton North. This week they go on to play Monday at Boston Latin, Tuesday at Weymouth, and Thursday at Wellesley. The baseball team opens up their season with a tough back-and-forth loss to their rival Walpole, losing the game 4-2.
And the two-strike offering. This one hit sharply out to center field. And back there is King, dives. And
they go on this week to play Wednesday versus Needham and Friday at North Quincy. Their Monday game versus Weymouth was postponed due to rain. The softball team has had a tough start to their season, losing all three of their opening games. 15-2 to Bishop Feehan, 11-0 to Walpole, and 9-3 to Oliver Ames. They go on to play at Needham on Wednesday and versus Bridgewater Raynham on Friday. Their game against Weymouth on Monday was also postponed due to the rain. The boys lacrosse team's season has started off with back-to-back losses. A close one, 13-11 versus North Quincy, and a blowout, 12-1 versus Walpole. They go on this week to play Weymouth on Tuesday, Needham on Thursday, and at Blue Hills on Friday. The girls lacrosse team has started their season on fire, winning 3 of the first 4 games, with wins 14-5 over Oliver Ames, 15-8 versus Pembroke, and 14-7 versus Canton. Their only loss comes in a blowout fashion, 20-4 versus Walpole. They go on the road this week to play at Quincy on Monday, at Weymouth on Tuesday, and at Needham on Thursday. And finally, the rugby team took a loss to Catholic Memorial, 31-7. They go on to play at Brookline in about 2 weeks. Now let's send it back to Martha in the studio.
Thanks, Chris. Now this week in entertainment, we have 3 recommendations for you to watch. First, a Minecraft movie follows 4 misfits who are suddenly pulled through a mysterious portal into a bizarre cubic wonderland that thrives on imagination. To get back home, they'll have to master this world while embarking on a quest with an unexpected expert crafter. The film stars Jack Black and Jason Momoa. You can watch a Minecraft movie now in theaters. Up next, Hell of a Summer follows camp counselor Jason Hochberg, who thinks his biggest problem is feeling out of touch with his teenage coworkers. What he doesn't know is that a mysterious mass killer is lurking on the campgrounds, brutally picking off victims one by one. The film stars Finn Wolfhard and Billy Burke. You can watch Hell of a Summer now in theaters. Finally, 0 Day is a mini-series that follows a former U.S. president who is called out of retirement to find the source of a deadly cyber attack, only to discover a vast web of lies and conspiracies. The series stars Robert De Niro and Jesse Plemons. You can watch 0 Day now on Netflix. That'll do it for news today. Remember, if you're a customer of Verizon, you can watch BCAM TV in high definition on channel 2128. You can also now see us in high definition on Comcast on channel 1073. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll see you next time.